Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Rapid Nurse. Who am I? Just a nurse with years of nursing experience, making me a nurse of all trades, but a master of nothing. These rapid experiences in the healthcare field took a fresh-faced young nurse with boundless hopes for our healthcare and warped it into a tired old nurse with a jaded sense of humor. On the channel, we will discuss topics that affect our healthcare. Why make a video discussing the history of the effects of residential schools in Canada? I often hear non-native people say, "I didn't know," or "they don't teach that in schools." Indeed, they have a point. When growing up in the public schools, the little they did acknowledge always got glazed over, minimizing or denying the generational trauma the residential schools caused to the native population in Canada. In the spirit of moving forward, I hope today's video will assist in educating native and non-native people alike. The history of residential schools in Canada. Imagine being taken from your family, forced to forget your language, and stripped of your cultural identity. This wasn't a dystopian nightmare, but the reality for over 150,000 Indigenous children in Canada. For over a century, the residential school system aimed to erase their cultures and assimilate them into a foreign way of life. Today we're diving into the dark history of these schools, the trauma they inflicted, and the ongoing journey towards reconciliation. The story of residential schools is a dark and painful one, but it's a story that needs to be told. To understand the impact these schools had, we need to go back to the very beginning. It's the 1800s, and Canada as we know it today is still taking shape. European settlers are spreading across the land, and the government is looking for ways to control the Indigenous population. Now, when we say Indigenous, we're talking about the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, the original inhabitants of this land. Now, the government had a problem. They wanted the land, and they saw the Indigenous people as an obstacle. So, they came up with a plan rooted in the belief that Indigenous cultures were inferior and needed to be replaced with European ones. That plan was the residential school system. The first of these schools popped up as early as the 1830s, run by churches with the government's blessing. The idea was to take Indigenous children away from their families and communities and teach them to be more like Europeans. By the 1880s, this had become official government policy. They even passed a law, the Indian Act, that made it mandatory for Indigenous kids to attend these schools. Imagine that, being forced to leave your home, your parents, your everything, and go to a school far away where you're not allowed to speak your own language or practice your own traditions. That's what happened to over 150,000 Indigenous children in Canada. These schools were the tools of what's been called cultural genocide, a deliberate attempt to destroy a people's way of life. And the consequences of this policy would echo through generations to the present day. The harsh reality of residential schools extended far beyond forced separation. Once inside, children were subjected to a rigid, dehumanizing system designed to break their spirits and erase their cultural identity. A residential school day begins at 5:30 a.m. with a bell summoning you to chapel, followed by chores and a meager breakfast. Then, instead of learning about your ancestors or the land you came from, you spent half your day performing manual labor in fields, kitchens, or workshops. This wasn't education, it was exploitation, all under the guise of vocational training. The schools were painfully underfunded, creating conditions that were nothing short of dire. Overcrowded dorms became breeding grounds for disease, with students packed in so tightly that sickness spread like wildfire. Malnutrition was a daily struggle, with government records showing that the budget for food was often only half of what was necessary to keep kids healthy. One survivor, Andrew Paul, described the food as rancid, full of maggots, stink. It's a heartbreaking testament to the neglect and indifference these children faced. What really haunts the story of residential schools is how they crushed Indigenous languages and cultures. Kids weren't just discouraged from speaking their native tongues, they were punished for it. Their traditional clothes, hairstyles, and even their names were stripped away, replaced by European ones. The physical and emotional hardships of residential schools were just the tip of a very tragic iceberg. Behind those imposing walls, children faced a horrifying reality that many Canadians are only just beginning to understand. It's estimated that between 3,200 and 6,000 children died in these schools, a number that sends chills down your spine. That's not just a statistic, it's thousands of stolen childhoods, thousands of families left grieving and searching for answers. Disease was rampant. Overcrowded and unsanitary conditions turned these schools into breeding grounds for illnesses like tuberculosis. A government report from 1907 revealed a shocking 25% death rate among students, with one school reporting a staggering 69% mortality rate. Imagine, nearly 7 out of 10 children sent to that school never returned home. Residential schools also came with a cemetery. That, among many other things, should have been a red flag that something sinister was going on at these residential schools. But disease was just one part of the story. Physical abuse and SA was a terrifying reality for many. Children were punished harshly for the slightest infractions. One survivor, John Tutusis, described feeling like being put between two walls in a room and left hanging in the middle. Caught between the indigenous world he was forced to leave behind and the white world he could never fully belong to. One survivor, Daniel Kennedy, recalled being stripped of his identity upon arrival, his braids cut off as a symbol of mourning, leaving him feeling like a Halloween pumpkin. Others shared stories of being beaten, chained, and even confined in isolation for speaking their native languages or expressing their cultural traditions. SA loomed like a dark cloud over these institutions. Predators among the staff abused their power, leaving countless children with deep, lasting scars. It's a harsh reality that many survivors bore in silence for years, their voices muffled by shame and fear. One of the most horrifying realities was the nutritional experiments conducted on children during the 1940s and 50s. Imagine being purposely deprived of essential nutrients or dental care, all in the name of research. These government-sanctioned experiments starkly reveal the complete disregard for the well-being of Indigenous children. The legacy of residential schools is a deep scar on the fabric of Canadian society. The trauma from those times hasn't just faded away. It's been passed down through generations, continuing to affect Indigenous communities today. This ongoing pain contributes to high rates of addiction, mental health struggles, and unaliving. It's a powerful reminder of the devastating impact of cultural genocide. During my time as a nurse, I have had Native patients and was surprised by how little my coworkers knew about Native people in Canada. Before we continue on with the video, let's take a break and hear from our partners at Amazon. Are you ready to elevate your wardrobe and conquer those looks with confidence, comfort, and style? Look no further, because we've got the perfect solution just for you.
Are you tired of searching high and low for durable, comfortable clothes that can keep up with your demanding lifestyle? Look no further, because we've got a solution for you.
Introducing Amazon, your one-stop shop for everything clothing related. With a wide selection of high-quality clothes designed to withstand the rigors of your busy life, Amazon has got you covered from head to toe. Thanks to Amazon's extensive collection of clothes and shoes, you can say goodbye to bland fashion and hello to style and grace. Then, take some time and watch a good movie like Silent Hill.
With Amazon, shopping for essentials has never been easier. Plus, when you use our affiliate link below, you'll not only score amazing deals on your favorite products, but you'll also be supporting our channel and helping us continue to bring you valuable content.
Click on my affiliate link in the description to start shopping on Amazon today and take your fashion and entertainment to the next level. From durable hoodies to comfy shoes and epic video games like the Silent Hill franchise, Amazon has everything you need to look and feel your best. Use our link. Yet, the spirit of Indigenous peoples proved unbreakable. Like a seed buried beneath the snow, resistance found a way to bloom, even in the harshest conditions. Consider the story of Cheney Wenjack, a 12-year-old boy who, in 1966, fled his residential school in a desperate attempt to return to his family, 400 miles away. Tragically, he didn't make it, succumbing to hunger and exposure along the railway tracks. While heartbreaking, Cheney's story symbolizes the relentless spirit of resistance. Many others resisted in their own ways. Some children ran away, braving the wilderness to find their way back home. Others defied the system from within, holding secret gatherings or outright rebelling. Parents and communities, too, raised their voices, demanding change and accountability. Slowly, the tide began to turn. By the 1940s, the failures of the residential school system were impossible to ignore. Public pressure grew, and the government started to rethink its approach. In 1969, the federal government took control of the schools from the churches, marking a significant step towards their eventual closure. The last residential school in Canada closed in 1996. It was a hard-won victory, a testament to the resilience and strength of Indigenous peoples. But the fight for justice and healing was far from over. The scars of residential schools ran deep, and the journey towards reconciliation would be long and challenging. The closure of residential schools was a significant milestone, but the path to healing and reconciliation continues. In 2008, a historic moment unfolded when the Canadian government issued a formal apology to residential school survivors. This apology acknowledged the immense harm inflicted and the necessity for redress. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission, active from 2008 to 2015, gathered over 6,750 survivor testimonies, revealing the devastating impact of these schools. Their 94 calls to action provide a blueprint for addressing the legacy of residential schools and advancing reconciliation. Today, efforts are focused on commemorating the sites of former residential schools and honoring the memories of those who suffered. The National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, observed each year on September 30th, stands as a powerful reminder of this dark chapter in Canadian history and the ongoing pursuit of healing and justice. The legacy of residential schools serves as a solemn reminder of the injustices endured by Indigenous peoples. Let's honor the survivors, remember those who were lost, and commit ourselves to the ongoing journey of reconciliation. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Together, we can work towards a better future. The history of residential schools is a painful reminder of the injustices inflicted upon Indigenous peoples, but it's also a testament to resilience, resistance, and the ongoing journey toward healing. Let's keep this important conversation going in the comments. How can we, both as individuals and as a society, contribute to reconciliation and make sure such atrocities are never repeated? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. I find it interesting as time goes on and as healthcare rapidly changes, you took the time to view the video. You have my sincere gratitude, thank you. Before I sign off, could I ask you to please like, comment, turn on notifications, and subscribe to Rapid Nurse. This will really help the channel get to the next level and ready this nurse for more content.